Have you ever heard of an emperor who was so powerful, so ambitious, that he wanted to conquer not just the world of the living, but the afterlife as well? This isn't a fantasy epic. It's the real story of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China and his incredible underground kingdom. Today, we dive in deep into one of the greatest archaeological wonders on Earth, the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. So, who was this guy? Qin Shi Huang, born as Yang Zhang. He ascended the throne of the Qin state in 246 BCE, when he was just 13 years old. But he wasn't content with just ruling a single state. Through a series of brutal and brilliant military campaigns, he conquered all rival states, unifying China. For the first time in 221 BCE, he declared himself Qin Shi Huang, which means first emperor of Qin. He was a ruler of immense vision and ruthless efficiency. He standardized weights, measures, currency, and even the writing system. He connected existing walls to create the precursor to the Great Wall we know today. He built a massive network of roads, but his most ambitious project, the one that would consume decades of labor and unimaginable resources, was his own tomb. The construction of his mausoleum began almost immediately after he took the throne, long before he became emperor of all China. The ancient historian Sima Qian, writing about a century after the emperor's death, gives us a breathtaking account. A says that over 700,000 laborers from every corner of the empire were conscripted to build this subterranean palace. Think about that number. It's more than the population of many major cities today. For nearly 40 years, these workers toiled to create a final resting place fit for the man who saw himself as the ruler of the universe. The mausoleum complex is located in what is now Xi'an, in Shenxi province. It's absolutely massive, covering an estimated 56 square kilometers. At its heart is a huge, pyramid-shaped mound of earth, which originally stood almost 100 meters tall. Underneath this mound, Sima Qian tells us, lies the tomb itself. He describes a world in miniature. The ceiling is said to be adorned with pearls and precious stones to represent the sun, moon, and stars. The floor is a map of the emperor's domain, with rivers and seas like the Yellow River and the Yangtze recreated with flowing mercury, all mechanically operated. Palaces, towers, and halls were built, filled with countless treasures and rare artifacts. And to protect this afterlife kingdom, crossbows were rigged to fire automatically at any intruder who dared to enter. It sounds like something straight out of an adventure movie, right? But what we've discovered so far suggests that Sima Qian wasn't exaggerating. For centuries, the existence of this underground world was little more than a legend. The Great Tomb Mound was a known landmark, but its true secrets remained hidden. Then, in March 1974, everything changed. A group of local farmers were drilling a well, trying to find water during a drought. Instead of water, their drill hit something hard. They pulled up fragments of pottery, then a life-sized head made of terracotta. They had no idea what they had found and reported it to the authorities. Archaeologists rushed to the site, and what they began to unearth would stun the world. They hadn't found the central tomb, but something just as incredible. About a mile to the east of the main mound, they discovered the Terracotta Army. Pit after pit was revealed, containing thousands of life-sized clay soldiers, standing in battle formation, ready to protect their emperor in the afterlife. There were infantrymen, archers, cavalry, and commanding officers, each with unique facial features, hairstyles, and expressions. It's believed that no two soldiers are exactly alike. They were originally painted in bright, vivid colors, though much of the paint flaked away within minutes of being exposed to the air after 2,200 years. The level of detail is just astonishing. You can see the tread on the bottom of their shoes, the rivets on their armor, the individual strands of their hair. The army is arranged in 3 main pits. Pit 1 is the largest, a massive rectangular formation with over 6,000 soldiers and horses. Pit 2 is a more complex, U-shaped arrangement with cavalry and archers, representing a mobile strike force. Pit 3 is the command post, smaller and containing high-ranking officers. A 4th pit was discovered, but it was empty, suggesting the project was left unfinished, perhaps due to the emperor's sudden death and the subsequent collapse of his dynasty. And it's not just soldiers. Archaeologists have found so much more. In other nearby pits, they've uncovered 2 magnificent bronze chariots, each drawn by 4 bronze horses. They are half-scale models, but the craftsmanship is exquisite, with intricate details right down to the patterns on the reins. They've also found terracotta officials, acrobats, and musicians, suggesting the emperor wanted not just an army, but his entire imperial court to accompany him into eternity. This brings us to the biggest mystery of all: the central tomb itself. To this day, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang has never been excavated. Why? There are a few major reasons. First, respect for the emperor. Disturbing the final resting place of China's first emperor is a decision not taken lightly. But the main reasons are scientific and practical. Remember Sima Qian's description of rivers of mercury? Soil surveys around the tomb mound have shown abnormally high concentrations of mercury, lending credibility to the ancient account. Opening the tomb could release a toxic vapor, posing a huge danger to archaeologists and the environment. Furthermore, we simply don't have the technology yet to excavate and preserve what's inside. We saw what happened with the paint on the terracotta warriors. It was lost almost instantly. The tomb is likely filled with priceless artifacts made of silk, lacquer, and other organic materials that would disintegrate upon contact with the air. Scientists want to wait until they can guarantee the perfect preservation of whatever treasures lie within. They are exploring non-invasive techniques, like using cosmic rays to map the internal structure, to learn more without ever breaking ground. The mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang is more than just a burial site. It's a testament to the colossal ambition of one man and the power of a unified empire. It offers an unparalleled window into the military, technological, and artistic achievements of the Qin dynasty. It was a project that unified a nation in its construction and continues to captivate the world with its mysteries. The Terracotta Army, the silent guardians of an eternal emperor, stands as a powerful symbol of China's ancient past and its enduring legacy. What other secrets does this vast necropolis hold? Will we one day see the star-studded ceiling and the rivers of mercury? Only time will tell. For now, the first emperor continues to rest, surrounded by his treasures and his loyal army, his underground kingdom undisturbed. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. If you were fascinated by the story of Qin Shi Huang and his Terracotta Army, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into history's greatest mysteries. See you next time.